George, last time we spoke was in London, England. You went in there and you got the job done. You beat two British guys that weekend, right? So, I mean, looking back on that, I mean, how satisfying was that to come out of there with your stocks so high?
It was awesome. Man, Till's a hell of a competitor, you know. So since the fight got announced, I was excited because I knew it was going to be that type of fight that everybody would be pumped about. Was nobody on their phone when we were fighting. And the fans know it. They know what I bring to the table, so it was definitely fun, you know. The other part happened because some guy tried to steal my shine, some hooligan, jealous individual. And that wasn't part of the script, but ain't nobody punking me, man.
And you got yourself another crowd-pleasing fight. This is one that everyone's really amped for. What is it about Ben Askren that really winds you up and rubs you up the wrong way?
Numerous things. He's just a pompous fuck. I can't stand him, you know. There's no hate because I don't hate nobody, but I just don't care for the dude. In this life or the next, he's not my cup of tea, man. As
a martial artist, a mixed martial artist, how do you rate him? Obviously, his wrestling is his standout attribute, but how do you rate the rest of his game?
I couldn't even answer that question, bro. I don't know what, besides putting his face in somebody's crotch, another man's crotch, I don't know what else he fucking does, man. Honestly, I don't know, man. I can't think of him. I don't even think he can spell punch, you know?
And in terms of the fight itself, I guess the secret is just stay standing, throw strikes. Is it as simple as that?
Let's just beat his ass up wherever the fight goes. Because if I'm on my back, I can still punch. I can still scramble to get back up to my feet. So the fight going to the floor, it's not over. When I went to the floor with Maya, it wasn't over, you know? And Maya's a much better submission individual than this guy will ever be, you know? So let's just beat his ass up through and through.
With the fight in London and then obviously the fight that we've got here this weekend, it feels like you've never been more popular. The fans have never been more switched on to you and your career. Is that?
It took 16 years.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You've been there or thereabouts all this time, but it seems like now you've really got over. I mean, is that something that you particularly appreciate and you think is a long time coming?
Definitely appreciate it because that means my paychecks will be getting significantly bigger, and that's what I love. But man, I mean, I've been good fighting for a long time, and I can talk in front of the cameras. It's just maybe I'm not the hungriest or thirstiest to get in front of the camera and always talk. Like for example, that individual that I'm fighting, he calls reporters and stuff to get interviews, and he goes out of his way and he offers lunch and maybe even sexual favors. I don't know, man. But he does whatever he can to get an interview. And I know these guys, they're some of them are friends of mine, I consider. And they'll send me texts like, look at the message that this guy wrote me just to be on my show, you know. And it shows how pathetic he is, man, you know.
You get your hand raised on Saturday night. What's the next step? What's the call out for you next?
Oh, it's no call out. It's I'm on that surfboard, and that wave is taking me right to the title shot. There's no other way around it. I think I should have been fighting for the title after Till. You know, Till's never been stopped in his career. Who did that in his hometown? Me. You know, when nobody wanted to fight the guy, I went and did it. Why didn't I get the title fight then? Because I didn't have that huge buzz, you know. But now there's no denying it, you know.
I know you're good friends with Colby. You're both in the same division. You're both right up there in the division. If the UFC sat you down and said, "We want you two to fight," is that a fight that you would entertain? I know some teammates are happy to put things to one side and, you know, get in there, and some people really don't want to do that. What's your take?
If the belt is on the line, it's going to happen, because if the belt's on the line, it doesn't matter who has it. I didn't get into the sport the high five with no dudes, you know? It's not my fucking thing, man. I got in here to fight, to win, and when I had kids, the goal was simple. I'm going to use my talents that God gave me. I'm going to develop them better and provide for my kids the best life that I possibly can. So there's not a human being walking this planet that if they have the title, I wouldn't try to diminish them to finish them, you know?
I mean, you know Colby as a fighter. Is that a fight that you anticipate taking place down the line because of his trajectory and your trajectory in the same division?
Well, mathematically, it would just sound like we're going to end up doing it, you know? Is it somebody that I want to punch in the face, knee in the ribs, kick in the neck? No, not really. We spent a lot of time training together. We had a lot of similar interests. We both used to like poker a lot, used to train all day and chase women, so it was like pretty easy for us to get along. So I don't know, it's just not somebody I want to punch in the face, you know. But like I said, when that belt's on the line, it don't matter who it is, man.